Okay, I know it's going to sound very surprising, but Texas hasn't always been a part of the United States. Texas was part of the Mexican government, okay? So in today's lessons, guys, we are going to learn pretty much about the causes and major effects and I'm sorry, major events and effects of the Texas Revolution. And I want you all guys to read the objective with me. I will be able to analyze the causes, major events, and effects of the Texas Revolution, including the Battle of the Alamo, the Texas Declaration of Independence, the Runaway Scrape, and the Battle of San Jacinto, by completing a thinking map of causes and effects and drawing my interpretation of each major event. The agenda of the day, guys, first we are going to learn about the vocabulary of the lesson and the content. Then we are going to play Jigsaw Cell while reading a book called The Battle of the Alamo by David Dreyer. Then we are going to complete a thinking map and draw the major events of our interpretation of the major events, and then we are going to do the exit ticket by playing Kahoot. Okay? So now, guys, I want you all to read with me the vocabulary. The first word is independence, analyze, revolution, and declaration. Very good. Okay, so now let's watch this short video I created for you with the vocabulary and the definitions. Vocabulary. Independence. The time when a country or region gains political freedom from outside control. Independence. Revolution. The usually violent attempt by many people to end the rule of a government and start a new one. Revolution. Declaration. The act of making an official statement about something. The act of declaring something. Analyze. To study something closely and carefully. Excellent. Okay, so now that we have learned about the vocabulary of the lesson, guys, I want you to tell me, what do you think the word independence is? Okay. Yes, independence is to get freedom from a government, from a type of authority, right? So, guys, what do you think revolution is? To rebel, to fight, to organize a community or an organization that wants to overthrow a government, right? So usually, question: how do you think these terms are related? Exactly, because usually the independence comes after the revolution. Okay, who can tell me what the definition of declaration is? Declaration, yes, is a very good. It's formal, and as an official document that declares that something has happened officially. And in this case, in the declaration was the Declaration of Independence of Texas, right, from the Mexican government. Who can tell me what the word analyze is? Very good. The word analyze is to study something closely and carefully. And this is what we are going to do today. Today we are going to look closely at those causes, major events, and effects that led us to the Texas Revolution, okay? So in this portion of the lesson, guys, I want you to be very attentive, and I want all eyes on me, as I'm going to give you some instructions to play a game called Jigsaw Cell. This is an activity that I think is going to really help us being able to cover all the material about the Texas Revolution and really being able to communicate with each other. So for these objectives, guys, we are going to be able to communicate, we are going to read, and then we are going to write all this important information, causes and major events that led to the Texas Revolution. So as I have divided, the group in the whole class in small groups, I want you guys to read this anchor chart that tells you the part of the books that pertains to your group. So group one in this case, for example, is going to cover from page 4 to page 7. And each person in the group is going to have a job. Let's say the first team player is going to be reader 1, reader 2, reader 3, and then the fourth player is going to be the secretary. So between you guys, I want you all to determine who the secretary is going to be, because that's the person who is going to create an anchor chart of that portion, guys. You have been assigned to expose to the whole class. Okay? Very good. So now, guys, that we have finished playing Jigsaw Cell, and that we have read this book called The Battle of the Alamo by David Dreyer, I want you I want us to, together revise this book and the things that we have learned today. Okay, so the book is called The Battle of the Alamo by David Grader. And this is a short book that gives us, a lot of detail about the Texas Revolution. It gives us images that are important for us to understand the locations and how far Texas was from the capital of Mexico. And also, it let us understand and learn a little bit about those heroes that fought in the Texas Revolution, and a little bit more about the dictatorship of Santa Anna. So this first page, for example, is very it's very exciting because it's a picture that represents a sacred ground, which is the Alamo, where the Battle of the Alamo happened. So this is pretty much a landmark on Texas because it kind of gives us that, it has that memory of how the Texans were so adamant on keeping, the land, or being able to protect the people in or the settlers in Texas, and defend the rights and defend the lifestyle that they have created, throughout the years while they were living here in Texas. So here, is giving us, a picture of how the they created a fort. This is how I wanted to show you here. This is a very important picture because it shows how far Texas went from the capital of Mexico, and this is one of the reasons that caused, the American settlers to feel that they were able to do as they pleased, pretty much, because they didn't have the Mexican government near them to, forbidden them to do as they pleased. Um, Okay, so pretty much Santa Anna says that he was a dictatorship, and this is an important picture because, when Santa Anna found out that the Texans had a cannon for him, this was a little worrisome as they understood that, the Texans were getting ready to rebel against the Mexican government, right? Okay, and this part is talking about Travis, Bowie, and Crockett, who were, brave fighters of the Texas Revolution. Okay, very good. So now that we have learned this, guys, we are going to pass to our independent practice. And this is a portion, guys, where we are going to complete an anchor chart. No, I'm sorry, not an anchor chart, a graphic organizer of the causes and effects of Texas Revolution. And then we are going to do our representation of the major events of the Texas Revolution. Okay? So now that we have finished with the independence practice, guys, I want us to go over the things we went about the causes of the Texas Revolution here. So pretty much the Texas Revolution, guys, was caused because, the Anglo settlements were far from Mexico, as I said before. They became accustomed to doing as they pleased. The American settlers also had big differences with the Mexicans' customs and the Mexican government. So pretty much those differences were over the language, religion, and slavery. So, the Americans were speaking English in Texas, and the Mexican government didn't like that, as they were not, that was the official language in the country. Another big difference was the religion. The Mexicans were Catholics, as the Americans were, they were either Christians, or Mormons. They had different religions. And also, the Mexican government was against slavery. So that was another issue because when the American settlers came to Texas, they brought in their slaves. So that was a big no-no for the Mexican government. And also, a lot of Mexicans were moving to Texas because the land was cheaper here, or even free sometimes. So when Santa Anna found out that the American settlers were outnumbering the amount of Texans or Mexicans in Texas, that was worrisome for him as well. The Mexican government issued the decree of April 6, 1830, and stopped illegal immigration from the U.S. He built forts into Sabine and imposed customs duties on importing goods from USA and other foreign countries. And also they arrested Stephen Austin in 1834, and that was something that really annoyed the Texans or the American settlers living in Texas because of the treatments against Stephen Austin. Okay, so now that we have covered these causes, guys, I want to say that these causes were pretty much what motivated the American settlers to overthrow the Mexican government. Okay, so we have a little time for the exit ticket now. I am going to play with you Kahoot. Kahoot is an online game that allows me to see the scores or check for understanding about the lesson of the day. So let me just go here. So we're gonna play. Start. 1907. Okay, let's start. Okay, that's my name. Ready. What year did the revolution start? So I know it was 1835. I click next. Next. Where was the first battle of the Texas Revolution? And this was in Gonzales. When did Texans seize control of the Alamo? And I know that was December 1835. Who were the commanding officers at the Alamo? And I know it was Travis and Bowie. How long was the siege at the Alamo? And it was for 13 days. Santa Anna took prisoners at the Alamo. That is false, because once they let women and children go, Santa Anna killed every single person at the Alamo. Which event took place after the Alamo? And that was Goliad. What was given to Texans by Ohio? And I know the cannons. So this allowed the Texans to go to war against the Mexican government. Where was the last battle held? And this was in San Antonio, where they arrested Santa Anna. What famous chant was shouted at this battle? And the chant was, "Remember the Alamo," the Alamo. Okay, very good. So this is all for today, guys. So in today's lesson, we were able to analyze the causes, major events, and effects of the Texas Revolution, including the Battle of the Alamo, the Texas Declaration of Independence, the Runaway Scrape, and the Battle of San Jacinto, by completing a thinking map of the causes and effects and drawing our interpretation of each major event. Thank you for watching.